Here's just a little quick video for people that have been buying the Beretta 81s that have come to surplus now. Not something I thought I would ever do, but it was hard to beat with the price, and it looked like a fun gun to have, especially for kids to shoot. This is it right here. The Beretta 81 or Cheetah in 32 ACP. There have been a decent number of videos about this, so there's not too much else for me to share, other than I'll just share a bit of my experience. I found this one at Midway USA, and the cost was $220, $15 to ship to an FFL dealer, and their condition they listed was good. So I'd read some other experiences of people that had bought them online. Several places have them now that are being imported straight from Italy. I guess a surplus from law enforcement models. And I decided to give this a shot, even though I'd never done this before. I'd read some experiences from people who had bought from other sites where you can pay extra to have a hand-picked one, and they weren't quite happy with the quality they got. Or I saw some that seemed happy, and as I looked and saw what they had, I was sort of disappointed for them. So there wasn't any option to do a hand-picked one. It was just listed as good on Midway USA's website. Perhaps I got lucky. Well, I think this one looks quite nice. Before I accepted it at the FFL dealer, I disassembled it and took it apart. Tried to inspect everything inside, all the moving parts and the barrel and everything. I thought it looked quite nice. I think the grips are nice. Of course, it's plastic Beretta grips. I like the fact that they're checkered all the way up here. And there's a little bit of scuffing there, but it's not bad. I feel like they're in good shape. These screws here are a bit rusted, so I've ordered some replacement screws, also from Midway USA, along with getting some 32 ACP ammo from them. One of the few places now I can find it online. But as far as the condition of this gun, it really seemed quite good. There are a couple of little dings and some wear of the bluing along edges here. Now I saw a good video about fixing that, and of course the receiver is aluminum, so I got some aluminum bluing, and I got a little bluing kit for the steel slide here, and followed those instructions. I'm not really any good at gunsmithing at all, but the edges where the bluing had worn off, really was able to get back looking nice. There's a little bit of wearing off on the edge of this beaver tail and the bottom by the magazine, the magwell. But that, with the bluing solution, went back quite nicely. I also took the tip from one of them and blued the importer's mark. So instead of being bright white, it fits along with the gun there on the bottom of the trigger guard. Looks quite nice as well. So it's fairly easy to blue the aluminum. There was a tiny bit of rust up here on the rear sights, so I used a bluing kit to remove rust, which sadly removes bluing as well, and then sort of re-blue some areas. Not that pleased with how that came out, but it looks a little better and the rust is gone. But overall, quite nice. So, I don't know if I was lucky or not, but based on this experience, I would certainly recommend Midway USA and the quality of their gun. Haven't fired it yet. Everything looks good, and hopefully I'll be able to do that soon. I will say that it was a little bit dirty inside. There was some gunpowder residue in the barrel and in the chamber. It made it look kind of dry and a little dusty inside. So I've cleaned it and oiled and lubed it up really nice inside. Hopefully that will work fine. But other than that, no real problems at all. Now, of course, this is the magazine that comes with it, the standard 10 rounds. The one problem here is that the replacement magazines are rather expensive. Look at these online. You'll be looking at $40 and up. I was able to get these, so I got these off of eBay. These are some 10-round versions, and they come. The person selling on eBay was doing 2 of them, and I was able to get them for around $30 a piece. So pretty good deal compared to what else is out there online. These are, at least they appear to be, the original 32 ACP. There's a bit of a difference here, though. Actually, upon further inspection, that's exactly what they are. These are 380. So these are for a Beretta 84, and they've been modified to fit the 32 ACP. Wasn't there in the listing on eBay, and not too happy about that, but I'm hoping this will work. So these match the other ones that I've seen. Anything that seems to be a decent price out there looks like it's going to be a modified Beretta 84 magazine. So it'll just fit the 32. And I might not have mentioned, but the follower here is plastic, which should be okay. But there's the original Beretta 32 magazine right there. It's metal. Other listings for these would appear to be about the same magazine on Guns America and other sites. Talk about the springs being extremely stiff. And I'm wondering if in this case, part of being stiff is the fact that they've got that pin right in there and they can't compress below that area. So you've got a shorter amount of area to compress the spring in. So anyway, it does say made in Italy, and yep, if I just look on this side, 380. So these are originally, anyway, Beretta 84 380 magazines, and they've a lot of places online are selling ones that have been modified to fit the 32 ACP Beretta 81. And so based on what I've seen, if you could get this pin out, these perhaps should hold 14 rounds, and not just the pinned 10 or even the 12 of the original magazine. So I may think about seeing how I can do that someday. A little extra capacity is good, but even at 10, these should be okay. So it looks like really for any magazine, the best price you can find is going to be $30 or perhaps a little bit less. I guess for sale on eBay and being legal everywhere, these are pinned. So if you look inside there, you can see there's that pin that's been put through that keeps them away from getting that evil 12 round capacity and gets them to the, of course, much more reasonable and safe 10 round capacity, because an extra 2 would just be way too much. So I've taken a look in here, and that's where that pin is. You can see some indication of sort of where that pin was drilled in and then kind of finished off on the side. I guess you could drill it out if you wanted to and get it back to its full capacity. So I was pleased with the price of these. When I got them, I'm not quite sure about the quality of them. They feel a little bit rough, not the nice sort of slick, blued feeling of this actual magazine that came with it, but they feel a little bit rough, and I will say that their springs are really stiff. So getting that last, 9th and then 10th round in there seemed a bit tough. So I've sprayed some gun oil lubricant in there. Hopefully that'll help out, and I'm hoping that they'll do okay at the range. I figured the difference between the 10 and 12 rounds, wouldn't be too much. Now, you can find other examples online, although it is hard to find any for a good price. There's a place here that I found selling a number of magazines that they say are 14 round for the Beretta 81. And these are actually 380 that have been modified to fit a 32 ACP round and fit in the Beretta 81. I've read some things that caution against that, so I don't know how good an idea this is, but they are selling them for around $26 per magazine. So anyway, that's about it. Plastic floor plate for these eBay magazines here. I think they're still around. I lubed them up and rubbed some good gun stuff on them. Hopefully they'll do okay. It seems like they fit in fairly well in the mag well, and they drop well. I've tried putting some rounds through it and feeding through, and it seems like it cycles and feeds through okay. So anyway, just that spring is a bit stiff, and the spring here on the magazine that came from it. This is the actual Italian Beretta magazine. Feels pretty good, not stiff at all. Feels nice and smooth. So anyway, I just want to show you what a little bit of bluing on the frame and the slide can do for something that's was just a bit over $200 and is dates from the mid 1970s. Looks like it's in really good shape. All the parts move smoothly and everything seems to cycle well. So while people are getting a lot of these now, this could be the time to do it. And I had a good enough experience, and so hopefully you can learn from this. Some places also where you can find these magazines, because obviously you're going to want more than just one magazine for it. And nobody wants to spend $40, $50, $60 per magazine. So you can be able to, like I say, for around $30, or maybe a hint less, you can find some what apparently are some decent magazines for it. And hopefully that'll work. And for the rest of you that have this, pretty good find, and enjoy using them. I'm hoping that I will enjoy it, and hopefully my family as well.